Assistant Public Defender Natalie Mr. Stringa, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Leo Stringer.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today's the date and time for, well, 2 cases are set for sentencing and 2 cases are set for violation of probation. I have had the opportunity to review the alleged violations and the recommendations as to the violations of probation with Mr. Stringa. I guess I will start with those first, Your Honor, if Your Honor does not mind.
Go ahead.
We do acknowledge that there are the new criminal convictions and new pending criminal matters. And we do acknowledge that no proof of these things have been sent to probation. Mr. Stringa did indicate to me that he was going to try to get proof of Dawn Farm outpatient treatment. However, unfortunately, I have not received that yet to provide to probation or to the court. We are asking, as far as these cases go, if the court would consider not remanding Mr. Stringa. We do acknowledge that, yes, there are several violations alleged, and there's no getting around that. I'm just asking that the court, if you would consider not imposing the jail time. He does have some significant medical concerns he has been dealing with, and we are just asking if the court would consider not imposing the jail. And we do, as far as this 2 cases set for sentencing, Your Honor, I do not have any material changes to the PSI. As to the recommendation, my request would be similar. I would ask if the court would consider not imposing the jail time.
Stringer, anything you want to, Ms. Clara?
Yeah, sure, Honor. Teresa Clara on behalf of probation. Your Honor, I would just like to make the court aware. It already knows. Mr. Stringa has been on probation for over the last year on the 2 DOP cases. In those cases, he's done nothing. He's not paid 1 cent on either case or threat that is owed. That is high amounts on both cases. The only thing that Mr. Stringa has done is picked up new criminal cases. He has convictions. He also has pending matters. I had conversations with Mr. Stringa about getting into treatment. Conversations go that he agrees. He's supposed to be getting into verification. He's doing these things. Probation never receives anything from Mr. Stringa. So those just go on, and he stays in non-compliance. Given his past behavior and his continued criminal behavior, probation is asking that the court follow the recommendation for a jail sentence.
Mr. Stringer, anything you want to say? Yes, Your Honor. As far as my current situation, I've been in and out of the hospital like 32 times. University of Michigan Hospital has cited. I've supplied the court with multiple, documentations of my current medical situation. My knee's bleeding through my pants right now. I have osteomyelitis. My bone's infected in my leg. I didn't. In that regard, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but in that regard, part of you haven't done any testing. You haven't done anything. Part of your reasoning behind that is basically saying you can't go out in public. Right, Your Honor. Well, we have your tracking, and you've been out in public. What were you doing at Briarwood yesterday? I was trying to apply for a job online that I'm trying to do online. I had to go there and give them some paperwork. Then why couldn't you go to community corrections? I could, Your Honor. I don't have any money to pay for it. But I am so. What you want to say? But I do have a PhD from Michigan, and I am a professor. I was on FMLA from Eastern, but I'm slated to go back. Hopefully, I can do this in January 9th, so I'll be able to create an income. I have been sober. I tried to go to inpatient treatment. They wouldn't let me because of my skin condition, just to show the court that I was doing something. And I did send some paperwork with that. I don't know if you didn't get it, but okay. Judge Barr's court got it, but yeah, I made a lot of bad choices earlier in my life. I mean, not earlier in my life, earlier with these cases, but I'm on the other side of it as far as me as a person and me continuing to try to do better. I made a mess of the cases, and I didn't know that I was still actually on probation in this case.
All right, guys. This hearing starts with the defendant asking the court for mercy, while probation paints a very different picture. Leo Stringer is facing multiple probation violations alongside new criminal matters, and his attorney asks the judge to avoid jail, pointing to serious medical problems and attempted treatment. But probation says the record shows a year of noncompliance, no payments, no verification of treatment, and more criminal cases. Then Stringer gets his chance to explain. His medical claims, education, and plans to rebuild his life all come into focus. But the judge is clearly listening for something more important. Proof that he actually followed through.
And it wasn't even really brought to my attention that I wasn't in compliance until I spoke with Ms. Polera maybe 2 months ago. So I thought I might have had time served on this, but it was another case that it was time served on. But I would just like to for you to give me a chance that I can do probation, and that I can get through this and make myself a better person. I have so much going on medically right now too. I might, it's a lot. I don't want to get into it, but I'm at your mercy, Your Honor. I didn't, and this too, it's like, I didn't work so hard my whole life and, get a PhD and do all these things in life to throw it all away. And I want the opportunity to try to do this. And if you give me this chance, I won't prove you wrong.
You were sentenced originally in July 24th, 2024. And now here we are a year plus, almost a year and a half later, and you've done nothing except, as Ms. Blair indicates, is pick up new criminal charges. I'm done.
I thought I was time served. I thought the case was over with, Your Honor. I really did. Until I spoke with Ms. Polera 2 months ago, I didn't even know the case was still active. I made a mess, and I had like 4 or 5 retail frauds in Washtenaw County through different 14A, 14B, and 15th. I didn't know which one was which. And when I thought I had time served, I thought it was closed out because nobody told me anything different. And actually, I went to jail, was booked, and let go multiple times, and I never even had a warrant on this case. So I didn't even know that I wasn't in compliance. I didn't even know it existed.
You done?
Yes, sir.
So on the cases ending in 0962 and in 1452, since they have the same recommendation, I'll just do it once. On those, the probation cases, I'm going to revoke your probation. I'm going to sentence you to 365 days in jail, credit 82 days served, defendant to serve the balance. I will waive the remaining terms, accept the financial obligations, discharge you from probation without improvement. I will consider release to Dawn Farm inpatient treatment on those cases.
Thank you, Your Honor.
On the other matters, on the case ending in 0616, $125 statutory fee, 365 days in jail, credit 41 served, defendant to serve the balance. I'll consider release to Dawn Farm inpatient treatment. And on the last case ending in 1677, I'll order $125 statutory fee. I will apply the bond in that case. I'll order 365 days jail, credit 2 days on that case, defendant to serve the balance. I'll consider release to Dawn Farm inpatient.
Your Honor,
It is remanded.
Your Honor, may I say one thing? Just as far as the inpatient treatment, I have a misdemeanor warrant in another county, which I don't think they'll let me do. Is there any way I could do the Dawn Farms in jail program to get released that way? Is that feasible? Just because I know that you gave me bond conditions before to be released to treatment, and they wouldn't let me go because they said I had a misdemeanor warrant in another county. So I
consider that another time, but I pronounced my sentence. Defendant's remanded.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. My coat. Thank you.
The outcome is decisive. Probation revoked, multiple 365-day jail sentences imposed, and only a narrow door left open: possible release into inpatient treatment. This wasn't just about punishment. It was about accountability after repeated chances. The judge made it clear, patterns matter more than promises. Despite the defendant's education, medical claims, and emotional appeal, the consistent non-compliance ultimately determined the result. This case highlights a harsh reality of the justice system. Potential doesn't outweigh action, and words don't replace effort. So what do you think? Was the judge too harsh, or was this the inevitable result of two?
At this point, the judge has heard every explanation, and the decision comes down hard. Stringer says he thought the case was over, but the court focuses on repeated violations and new criminal conduct. The judge revokes probation and imposes 365 days in jail, with credit for time served and a possible path toward inpatient treatment. Additional cases bring more 365-day jail terms. Stringer makes one last request about completing treatment through jail, but the sentence is already pronounced. Message is clear. Repeated opportunities had reached their limit. If you enjoyed this courtroom breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We'll see you in the next video.